Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Channel X, the only show on Thursdays that we're doing here on a Friday on a Saturday. I'm sorry, because of the fact that today is the 4th of May and Comic Book Day. So, yeah, may the 4th be with you. I am your host, Tom Dog 247, and as always, I'm Tom Dog all day and Tom Dog all night. Ooh, baby, all right. So yeah, we're doing the show on a Saturday because um I forgot that it was comic book day and it was and it was also um what do we have here? Um it's also the 4th of May and it's comic book day. So yeah, I'm sorry. So got my got my Grogu t-shirt and so yeah, we're actually doing a live review. So yeah, a live review which I was supposed to do taped, but I slacked. So yeah, um, so yeah, so I figured because it's the Star Wars Day, Star Wars Day and everything like that. Um, May the 4th and everything like that. Hey Tanya, how are you? And guess you're going to bed early, I see. um, but yeah, it so yeah, it is gonna be a pretty fun show and everything. And so yeah, we're gonna be talking, having some fun with some Star Wars, with some Star Wars related stuff. I'm gonna That's bad. So busy day today, I take it, huh? And doing good. I am doing good. And yeah, good to have you on for as long as you can. And so yeah, so um, so yeah, very good show and everything. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun here today. Um, I figure for this Star Wars special, like we know, that we normally do. I figured this one I'm gonna um rank the there's 10 Star Wars movies. Believe it or not, there are 10 of them. I'm not counting the holiday special because um oh boy, I did 2 shifts. Oh boy, yeah. Good to have your feet. Good to have your feet up and everything like that. And so yeah, it is. It is. I'm sure it was a very busy day and everything, and hopefully, um, you get a nice rest in after everything like that. So yeah, but but yeah, I'm gonna rank the. There are 10 Star Wars movies out there. One of them is an animated movie. So yeah, we are going to rank that one. Um, because to me, I think it's canon. I'm not going to do a the ho- you know. Thank you. I've had this one for a while, and I just I was supposed to wear this last year, but I wound up wearing a different one, and it um what had happened was I had it put away somewhere and I couldn't find it, but then I found it and I said, you know what, I have to do it. I have to wear it this year. So, yeah, thank you. And yeah, Star Wars Day and everything. We're gonna have some fun and hopefully get to tune in as well too. So yeah, 10. So yeah, there's 10 all together and everything, and I'm going to rank them from my personal experience and everything. And I don't think they're they're bad. So some of the movies on the list isn't particularly bad, but it is what it is. And then I'm going to show off some of the comics that I picked up on Comic Book Day. I had a big haul this year, and so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. And I have a Channel X top five that on. I did not post on the description. So yeah. um. As for the my review on X-Men 97, episode 8, I am going to review that on Thursday. So, um, even though I'm splitting the Star Wars stuff with the comic book day stuff, and kind of falls into that, it's more related to Star Wars Day. So, so yeah. Um, So all the other fun stuff will be this coming Thursday, and I guarantee you, I'm doing a show on Thursday. Um, I don't see any other special events going on, so um, but if it changes, I'll mention it on the social medias and my community section in my on my YouTube channel. Um, what else is going on? So yeah, and so yeah, I'm going to do the reviews and everything. But before we do that, I got to do the shout outs and the plugs and everything. Have to do that. Big shout out to the Dorkening Podcast Network, and hope they're watching today, because with the comics and everything like that, it's right up their alley. And Splash Pages is a really awesome show. You guys got to check that out. You can check it out on the YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and you definitely do not want to miss out on that. It's really awesome. It's the Dorkening Podcast Network, and yeah, you'll love it. They have tons of good shows on there. I check them out all the time, and I check out the Splash Pages, and yeah, it's a lot of fun, and especially with the Splash Pages and everything. Great way to check out what's going on. And there's like a lot of flashing going on with my monitor there. That is weird. I'm gonna change picture setting. Dull brightness. Ah, crap. I'm just gonna turn off. There. Okay, that's a lot better. So, um, so yeah, the Dorkening Podcast Network, awesome, awesome stuff. Check them out, and it's worth checking out. Also, check out the Owl Light Network, another great channel. Carrie, Raz, and the gang always have a great time watching their stuff. I give them a shout out every now and I check out their shows as much as I can and everything. Big shout out to them, and check it out over on YouTube, and you'll be glad you did. And so they got a show coming up on tomorrow night, and I'll probably stop. I'll probably hang out with them for a while um, before I have to go do my Wrestling Prime show. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. Um, because of the scheduling and everything like that. So yeah. Um. So yeah, it was. So yeah, check them out. All Light Network. You'll be glad you did. And Melee Playful and Tango. If you like watching people play video games, then Melee Playful and Tango are the ones for you. Check them out over on YouTube and watch them play some really cool games that you love to play and or watch. And check them out over on YouTube today. And this episode is brought to you by Evan J Video Games and Collectibles. Trade and sell or buy your the collectibles and everything, from pop vinyls to Pokemon cards, Magic cards, you name it. Um, Autographed items from wrestling and actors and everything. It's an awesome it's an awesome store. If you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area and you want to check out this amazing store, you can do that by wanting to know where the directions are and a list of events they have going on. Check out their website over at mnjvideogames.com. And big shout out to BoomTube Comics. I'm going to be giving them a huge plug on tonight's show. Check them out over on their website over at boomtubecomics.com for a list of all the cool comic books that you'll be able to check out as well. And yeah, Terrificon's coming up 16th, 17th, and the 18th of August. For tickets and information, check out Terrificon.com. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. If I miss anything or anyone, I apologize, but know that I love you all. Oh yeah, Hardcore Sweet Bakery. I have a sweet tooth, and which is why I have diabetes. And but that doesn't stop me from enjoying the baked goods over at Hardcore Sweet Bakery. If you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area, and you want to check out the baked goods yourself, check them out over on the website over at hardcoresweetbakery.com. Now I didn't forget anybody. And if I did, I apologize. But you know who you are. Shout out to all of you. And shout out to Tanya for hanging out for a while. And so yeah. And let's so why don't we get the review out of the way first, because I think that's the most prominent one that I need to get out of the way, because if I don't do this review, I have to check out the whole thing. And it is the blue milk from TrueMove. And yeah, I got it. See it right there, and QR code right there as well too. So if you were lucky to capture that, you can check it out. Oh yeah, big shout out to the Pint as well too. They were at BoomTube Comics earlier today too, and they have a really cool podcast as well. And, yeah, check them out. I did have a poster that I wanted to show off, but I'm going to save that for another time because I forgot to take it out. So, I don't really drink milk. I do drink milk, but I rarely drink milk at night because um, dairy does not mesh well with me late at night. So that's why I'm only using a little bit of a glass. So yeah, but yeah, had to check to make sure that everything is okay. Everything is okay with this milk. Trust me, I opened it and smelled it myself, and I'm gonna do it again on air and confirm it. Yep, I smell it. Yeah, apparently there's some vanilla. There's some vanilla flavoring in this as well too. So, so yeah, I'm gonna pour the milk in. A strange thing about pouring milk I've noticed that you have to go real close to it, otherwise it's gonna spill all over the place. So yeah, there's the texture. Come on, drippy, drippy, drippy. Come on. So I'm using this glass so that you can see that I'm not so you can see for yourself of what it looks like and everything like that. So yeah, um, so yeah, that's what it looks like, and yeah, it looks really smells smells good as I said, and you could probably make some really cool drinks with this blue milk. You know, like a kick-ass Kahlua. So I'm gonna take a little sip of this. Not bad, not bad. Actually, pretty good. It really is. And if you're lucky to pick some up before they stop selling it, because it's only for a limited time, I strongly suggest that you pick it up. But yeah, this is really good. This is really good. Um, you could taste it. You really can taste the vanilla that's in here, because there's some vanilla in here. It tastes real good. And like I said, I rarely drink dairy products at night because you know, my stomach doesn't agree with me. So, but yeah, I'm gonna finish this off. Yes, sir. Now it's only a matter of time whether my shit turns blue. So yeah, I'm gonna be grabbing a grab a Coke Zero. Oh yeah, you know what I forgot to do, and I'm an idiot for. Go to w.gg, use the promo code Brill at the checkout to save 10% on your purchase. So, yeah. And what is W? W is a energy supplement that does not uh, leave you with any crash or burn, and there is no artificial flavors or colorings or dyes, and zero sugar, and they use all natural ingredients. It's awesome. It really is awesome, and it doesn't. Like I said, you won't feel that crash after like all the other drinks do, and it doesn't taste like piss like Prime. So yeah, so yeah, but it's a really good product here. I love Dubby. You'll love Dubby. And like I said, go to w.gg, use the promo code Brill at the checkout to save 10% on your purchase, and do or do not. There is no try. Try it for yourself. Do have some for yourself, and you'll be glad you did. And even the tumblers alone are awesome too. So got some good collaborations that I've seen, and if you're a fan of those, and if you're a fan of what you see on their website, trust me, you might want to pick up their product. So yeah, it's really good. And, yeah, I'm showing off the glow stick on the glow bracelet thing. So yeah, it was a pain in the ass to put on. That's why I was a little late turning on the show. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, w.gg. Use the promo code Brill at checkout to save 10% on your purchase. You'll be glad you did. So on with the show. So but yeah, but I'm drinking Coke Zero because I mean this is only fitting because they have some they did a collaboration with Marvel and they have a little QR code right there. And I'm gonna leave it right there for you to scan, and you can go on the Coca-Cola. There's like a special website to go to, and you can check that out, and you can have a good time with that, and yeah, have a lot of fun stuff. And if you get the bottles and the cans of these, um, you'll have even more fun. I gotta scan a lot of them. I've been putting that off and everything like that. So yeah, I gotta take this. I gotta get the gotta wash away this the milk and vanilla, which I did. So yeah, perfect. Okay, so um, so yeah, comic book day was also happened too on one of the greatest days, Star Wars Day, and I did buy a couple of comics. Um, I might go I might go back to BoomTube again tomorrow because there is a signing, a meet and greet. So you might want to check that out. Plus, also Space Ghost issue 1 is out too, so. And so, someone who worked on the comic, on the Space Ghost comic, um, is going to be there signing the some of the books there. So yeah, it's going to be really awesome. Um, so this one's been a most talked about thing, and again, shout out to Splash Pages. Hope they're watching. Um, and this was a talk about topic um on their on their show. It's Blood Hunt issue 1, and it's a 5-part series, and yeah, it looks really really amazing. I'm not going to show any of the artwork, but it does look awesome, and yeah, it looks really really good, and yeah, I got Blood Hunt issue 1. Um, there's more to it. So this is 1 of 5, and yeah, it looks really really good. Um, a must get. Also, um, just in time for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie to come out. Deadpool and Wolverine World War III. Uh, yeah, issue 1 is out. I don't know if this is. I think there's going to be more than just one. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to be a one-off, and nonetheless, it's still. And now let's get into the free comic books that I picked up today. And I picked up a lot of them. Holy cow! Um, I'm a kid at heart too, and everything. So I picked up Asterix, Asterix, X, Asterix. Very popular comic strip back in the day, and everything. There's actually a movie on Netflix that you can watch right now too. So yeah. Check it out. I haven't checked out the movie, but you, you might be um surprised with it as well too. Next one is Pokemon Adventures Ruby and Saph Ruby Omega and Alpha Sapphire. So yeah, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and yeah. Now this one's a little bit different than the other comic books because left. It reads from left to right, or right to left, I should say. So yeah, it looks truly amazing. So you would have to read on this side and read on this side. So yeah, really good. Really good. I read a little bit of this. This is amazing. Also, too, there's a little bit of Splatoon 3 in here as well too. So dual comic and very very amazing. And next one is really caught my eye, and I had to get this. It's I Lie Popeye issue 1, and so yeah, it looks really awesome there. And yeah, maybe one of these days we'll do a read on there too. And up next, Snoopy Beagle Scout Adventures. That was another one that came out. So yeah, it's got some comic strips from the Peanuts article, but it's more based on Snoopy and his Beagle Scouts. And this one is more mature rated. This is Conan Battle of the Blackstone. Yeah, this was another free comic. Looks like I don't know if it's a full free one. I don't know. Oh no, yeah, it's just like a preview comic. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it looks really good, and it's rated mature. Another mature rated comic, and there's a little bit of a warning on this as well too. Um, it has discussion of suicide and depiction of self harm, and the name of the book is called "Dying Inside." I'm gonna have to put it down like this because a lot of there's some there is some graphic stuff in the cover, so don't want to go on with that. Um, Up next on my grab, Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon. That's a really good one. Uh, Number 0 preview comic. 10 years of Mad Cave. So it's from Mad Cave Comics. I should mention the ones on there too. Um, Another one from free comic book day. Energon Universe Transformers. From Image number 1. Looks good. Looks really good. Um, yeah, gonna inspire me to pick up the comics of that one. It looks really good. Also, um, Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. Um, Another preview comic, and yeah, it looks amazing. Really good. Also, I had to pick this up. I had to pick this one up, and so this really caught my eye, and is from Mad Magazine. Mad. And I'm looking on the back of this too. There's also a Spy versus Spy. There's a promotion here. or Spy versus Spy Omnibus. So it's like a collection of all their adventures of the Spy versus Spy. And so yeah, I saw that at BoomTube as well too, and I should have asked how much that was. I will if I go tomorrow to pick up that uh Space Ghost comic. I will go. I will go and find out because I want to pick that up. This one actually caught my eye as well too. Um, Arkham Asylum. Hey, we dogs gotta stay together. So yeah, this is really funny. Um, I was cracking up when I saw that, and I said I had to pick this up. And and there's also a preview of a graphic novel as well too. So yeah, um, yeah, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. And yeah, it looks really cool. Arkham Asylum, um, Joker's Joker's pet, and I don't know who this one right here is supposed to represent, but I'm sure it'll come up somewhere. And then this one here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who is Night Watcher? Yeah, that's another one. And so yeah, 25 years of IDW. Yeah, really awesome. And last but not least, in honor of Star Wars Day, I couldn't leave without picking up their free comic book day of Star Wars. It's a two-pack. There's two action-packed stories featuring Darth Vader, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, and more classic characters. And the cover on this looks amazing. Look at that cover. Look at that. That's an awesome cover. And and it looks like there's um a movie comic of Star Wars, a promotion of the movie comic of Star Wars Phantom Menace 25th anniversary on the back of the cover, and looks very very interesting. And I am going to review this this comic right now. Um, Return to Echo Base and The Curse. Those are the two stories that are depicted in here. And so Return to Echo Base. The writer is Charles Soule. Um, Ibrahim Robinson is the artist. Uh, Rachel Rosenberg is the color artist, and VC's Cowles is the letterer. And in The Curse, writer is Greg Pak. Artist is Ramon Rosanas. Color effects is by uh, Guru EFX, and VC's Joe Camaranga is the letterer, and the cover artist is by Phil Nato. Assistant editor is Mickey J. Basso. Associate editor is Danny Azim. Editor is Mark Pencia. I think I'm pronouncing the name right, and I'm not. I apologize. CB Sabaluski is the editor-in-chief, and for Lucasfilm, senior editor is Robert Simpson, associate editor Grace Orisis, creative director is Michael Siglane, art director is Troy Alders, Lucasfilm Story Group, Matt Martin, Pablo Hidalgo, and Emily Shokokani. I believe I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. And creative art manager Phil Sozdak. Yeah, and so yeah, it looks really. The artwork on this is really good. As I said, look at Princess Leia right there. Yeah, it looks really good. And the Millennium Falcon stands out as well. Lando, and yeah, it looks really awesome. It really is. It really is really cool. And so yeah, definitely pick it up. And also showing off Mace Windu in one of the pages. And so yeah, look at the cover for Mace Windu. If you haven't seen it yet, it looks awesome. And see a little bit more of the artwork. And here we go. We see Darth Vader. So yeah, it just looks so awesome. It really does. And yeah, some more. Then they have another story here. And so yeah, it looks really good. And so yeah, if you haven't picked this up on Free Comic Book Day, yeah, really, really check it out. And so yeah, this story is continued on Darth Vader issue number 46. So on one of the stories. And, I'm trying to see the other one here. Oh, it doesn't even say. Oh, okay. Well, it says the end. So I guess it was like I think it was like a short story. So yeah, nonetheless, um, it's a must pick up if you haven't picked this up on Free Comic Book Day. And if you're lucky, if they have any extras lying around, definitely pick this up. It's a must read. So yeah, this is really amazing. And so yeah, that was my fun adventure over on at Comic Book Day, and saw an old friend of mine whom I haven't seen in years, and an old colleague of mine. Uh, so yeah, it was really cool, and so yeah. Um, how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Um, let us know in the comment section. You know what was what comic you picked up for Free Comic Book Day, and how many? Some places that you get to pick a lot of free comics. So yeah, um, so yeah, if you're lucky, you can pick tons of them. So also too, if you happen to be in the Southington area, they're also selling Terrificon tickets as well too. So you're lucky. Check it out. So, um, yeah. So, like I said, what makes Star Wars unique is the movie, and I've seen every single Star Wars movie. I've seen cartoons. I've seen a lot of other, anything that had to do with Star Wars. That it came out. It came out before I was born, a year before I was born. But there was one thing that got me into Star Wars, and I am ashamed to say it, but then again, I'm not, because this was my first introduction to Star Wars, and that was the Star Wars Holiday Special. And for some that were born in 1978, that's what we got. And I loved it. As a kid, it didn't, as a toddler, you know, as a newborn, I guess you could say, you don't know that it's going to be bad and everything like that. But yeah, you know, all I saw were like, some colors, different colors, and various colors and everything, and the characters they didn't freak me out and everything like that. So it showed that I love Star Wars. And it was really cool. It was really cool, and hearing hearing Carrie Fisher sing was also a treat for me. So yeah, it 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 was unique, and you know, believe it or not, you know, I know it's very rare for somebody to remember anything from their childhood, but you know, from their youth and everything like that. But for some odd reason, I can feel like I can sense my mother um cradling me when you know you know going rocking me to sleep and everything like that, while Carrie Fisher was singing. For some odd reason, for some strange reason, I can picture my mom actually doing that. Shout out to my mother. Hi, mom. But yeah, that was my first introduction to Star Wars, and I haven't looked back since. I haven't. And excuse me. No, really, excuse me. And so the Star Wars films later on would become a um, a pivotal moment of my history, and I absolutely love it. And I have a soft spot for the prequels, even though not too many people not too many people like the prequels. I get it. I understand. Um, Nobody's wrong. I'm not going to judge you if you don't like them. Um, there was some good stuff. There was some bad stuff, but nonetheless, they were really good. The sequel trilogy, 7, 8, and 9, um, hit and miss, and but still they were really good, um, and everything. So yeah, so I'm gonna rank them. I'm gonna rank them by um by the movies. So yeah, there were 10 movies because there was an animated one which was called The Clone Wars, which the rumor was it was supposed to be the Clone Wars was supposed to be going direct to um video, was going to be like direct to video and to be televised because of the fact that um they were pitching the idea of putting the Clone Wars as an animated series. They actually started doing that with 2D animation, but then they jumped right into CGI because CGI was becoming a thing and everything. So 3D animation was the way to go, and this was their introduction to that, and it proved to be a lot better. So um, and it falls under the timeline. It falls in the timeline of between episode 2 and episode 3. So that's what it falls behind. And it looks at it for what it was okay. And you know some of it didn't really make any sense. Um but I can understand what they were going with and everything like that. So um but nonetheless, it it was a movie. They had some actors uh from the from the prequel Star Wars movies, reprising their roles as voice actors, and so yeah, it was a really big deal. With that being said, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, I'm ranking that as I'm ranking it into the 10th spot on my list. That because that one, um, even though it was pretty interesting to see the first introduction of Ahsoka Tano. And yeah, that's pretty much the first introduction of Ahsoka Tano, and it was good. It was a good introduction. Became and Ahsoka Tano became a fan favorite after that. Um, later on, I should say, not after that. And yeah, it was a pretty interesting. Sorry, and it was a pretty interesting story. Um, Pretty much basically had to do with Jabba the Hutt's son, and betrayal within the Hutt family, within the Hutts. And so yeah, it was a pretty good story, um, to say the least. And, yeah, it was pretty good all around. So, but no, not enough to be the best, to be the best Star Wars movie film. So best Star Wars film. So yeah, I rank that at number 10. So it's like one of those throwaway ones that they could have easily just put that on DVD, and I think nobody would have a problem with. Yeah. At the number 9 spot, I'm gonna have to give that one to um, Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker. Um, as good as that movie was, as there were some good spots in the movie, but it just missed its mark. Um, it just missed its mark. And to be quite honest with you, you know, it was just a disappointment because of the fact that, um, to me, it just didn't really tell the story that, to me, the movie was all over the place. And when I saw it in theaters, there were some scenes in the movie where it was just like, can you know, I understand that it was, there was some like dark imagery and everything like that, but could you at least brighten up the darkness a little bit, you know? And it never really told to me, just didn't really, I couldn't understand why Palpatine came back or everything. I don't think they ever went into any sort of detail because of that, and it just made no sense. And so yeah, and the plot was just all over the place and everything, but it was nice to see some returning favorites, and I mean, at least that was cool. So that was pretty much their end game. Um, to put it loosely, but nonetheless, it was a good one. It was okay, but still not enough to be the best Star Wars film. So I rank that at number 9. Number 8, Last Jedi. Um, Again, this was another one of those disappointments that I think that should have been better. And if they cut it cut it down to where where filler, um where there was like too much filler and everything like that, plot holes and everything like that, whatever you want to call it. It was just too much to talk about. It was like too much stuff going on there, and it was just like, still another disappointment. And it was just how it was and everything. So I'm giving that the 8th spot. Number 7, I'm giving it to The Force Awakens. Um, it was pretty good, but to me it just felt like that they were just rehashing A New Hope, and it was like, okay. um, some of the stuff that happened and everything was good, but you know, and shocking, and to me that this was, um there were some uh, good stuff in there, like the introduction of BB-8. Oh yeah, I should also mention too that Last Jedi was Carrie Fisher's um last no, the Rise of Skywalker was the last film before uh that Carrie was working on before she passed away. So um but it was a good set off for her. But like I said, Last Jedi was a disappointment. But anyway, um but going back to The Force Awakens, it was good. It was a nice introduction to um Kylo Ren. Um a you know nice introduction to Snoke. And that's why Last Jedi got number 8, because I also forgot to mention that we don't know who the hell Snoke was. To me, I don't know how they got it. I guess they talked about it during the Rise of Skywalker, but for me, I just didn't. I was just disappointed because Snoke looked really cool, and it was so it just I was like, what the hell? Moose goes, when I was a kid, I may have loved the new flicks. As an adult, Rogue Rogue One struck iron. where the sequels were squandered. Yeah. Those are I'm actually putting the like the in between films like Rogue One and Solo. Um, those are honorable mentions because even though they fit in the timeline, I'm pretty much basically looking at the main trilogy, and I kind of cheated a little bit with Clone Wars, and so yeah. Um, Actually, I can put um tie them all up at number 10. At number 10, Rogue One and Solo, in the 10 spot. Those ones were good. Don't get me wrong. I do have a soft spot for Rogue One and thing, but um, it was just basically introduce characters that we haven't met, um, regarding with Rogue One and Solo, getting to see what they were experimenting with, which should have worked, um, with other. I guess they wanted to see how it would work with Solo, a Star Wars story. I think they wanted to do that with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know. Um, Boba Fett was rumored to also be um on that list as well too, which would have been awesome. How Boba Fett got his start, and but then again, we got the Book of Boba Fett. So so yeah. Um. So yeah, I'm gonna throw in the um other movies is the Rogue One and at the number 10 spot. So yeah, I failed to miss that. Um. So yeah. But yeah, Force Awakens, number 7, should have been a lot. I wanted to know more about Snoke with the number 8 spot being Last Jedi. Should have been another. We basically know nothing about Snoke and everything like that, and many rumors on that he could be Emperor Palpatine's um a clone of Emperor Palpatine, which would make sense. But again, we still don't know that much about Snoke. And spoiler alert, he was killed off way too early, and I was a little bit disappointed. So yeah, Force Awakens number 7. On to the number 6 spot, Attack of the Clones. That that was okay. Moose goes, Rogue One's Vader moment. That was for the original fans. Snoke had so much potential, which was fumbled so bad. It was unexplainable. Yes, I agree. I do agree that one scene with Vader and Rogue One, that was awesome. That was really really awesome. And yeah, that was for the fans because the fans were just like, you know, I didn't see Rogue One in the theaters, but I can understand. But I can probably actually wait a minute. Did I see that? Did I see Rogue One? No, I didn't. I rented it, and yeah, it was an awesome moment. It was like, but I can just imagine the the fans going, "Oh my god!" Yeah. It's like with that one scene and everything like that. And I'm sure a lot of the word of the word the word shit was probably used a lot too. They were like, "Holy shit! Yeah, yeah, Vader's back." I was like, "He never really left." I mean, but I think they could have. To me personally, I think they could have given. Nothing against James Earl Jones. I get they definitely brought back. Especially bringing back James Earl Jones for the to do the voice. I think you know it was good and everything like that. But I'm pretty sure they could have. There were many voice actors that voiced Vader in cartoons or in the video games that sound just like James Earl Jones. But like I said, it's a nitpick, and but nonetheless, you know that scene with Vader was freaking awesome. It really was. I said that. So number 6, Attack of the Clones. I wanted to like this. I wanted to like this, but it wasn't like again. This was, could have been a lot better. Um, they did mention some points there about the clone army who they were being used. Told a pretty good. It did tell a pretty good story for what it was. For what it was, it was still a pretty good story. Um, Nonetheless, it just missed missed the mark because just Anakin. I guess you know this is Hayden. This is the first introduction of we got to see an older Anakin Skywalker, which to me it just seemed weird coming from a 9-year-old boy to this you know teenager who is just about the right age, just about the right age for Padme. Um, yeah, it just seemed a little bit awkward, but for what it was, it was just like okay, I mean, it's good that it got out there and everything, and some Easter eggs, of course, and it was just, you know, it was still pretty good for what it was, and but the obvious shadowing that we know, um, when when they're on Tatooine, I mean, really, it's like, yeah, you're gonna go find your mom. I get it, but did you have to make it so obvious of what he's going to be, what Anakin's going to become? And it's like, oh my god, this, I was like, I mean, oh shit, but we could sense that he's going to do something horrible, and he did, and he killed a bunch of Tusken Raiders. So oh well, okay. Let's see, we're at the number 5 spot, aren't we? Yeah, number 5 spot. This is a toughie. This is a toughie right here. Um, Number 5. I'm going to have to go with Phantom Menace. this we get our introduction of Jar Jar Binks. I like Jar Jar Binks. You know, everybody has their favorites. Jar Jar's mine. And yeah, it was, you know, it was interesting. We get to see, a young Anakin Skywalker, which I think he would have been a little bit older. Just saying, would have made a little bit more, would have made more sense. And we get the first meeting of R2D2, 3CPO. Still good. It was interesting and everything. Just seemed weird that it was Anakin who made 3PO. Saying, but nonetheless, it was a thing that happened. Get to see a little bit of Darth Maul, which I wanted to see more of. That's why it's taking the number fifth spot on the list. I think we should have seen. We were kind of robbed on Darth Maul. We probably would have been nice to like have him be in maybe Attack of the Clones, or maybe in the um Revenge of the Sith or something like that. Yeah, and yeah, it was a thing that should have been a thing. We should have been able to get to see more of Darth Maul. One redeeming factor in this was the score by John Williams. Can't take that away from him. He's always going to get top bidding regardless. And yeah, it was good. It was the fight scene was also really good. The relationship between Naboo and Gungans and the Gungans, it was good. Not taken away from anything stereotypical, because to me, if that's how they talk, that's how they talk. And I'm not looking at any stereotypes or anything like that, because I sat through the second Transformers movie, and yeah. What pissed me off was not Skids and Mudflap, but Devastator. I was pissed off about that. And everybody knows, and anybody who saw that movie knows exactly what I'm talking about. That one scene, and I'm not going to mention it here because this is Star Wars. So maybe we'll talk about that another time. But I want to talk about Star Wars. Let's all be glad that Michael Bay had nothing to do with Star Wars. So let's be glad about that. I like Michael Bay. It's just that I don't want to say anything bad about him that's going to make him explode. And somewhere Drew is, I can sense Drew hearing that joke, that dad joke, and I can sense him telling me to get out. Love you, Drew. But yeah, it was okay for what it was. I mean, it was really cool, and there were some really cool scenes. I'm not gonna lie, the pod racing scene was being one of them. Watching the extended cut of the movie is worth watching, because they actually show a lot. They actually have an extended scene of the pod racing scene, and they go through every single racer that's in there. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually like the pod racing thing. I think it's really cool. I think it's really really cool. And so yeah, get to see introduction of some main characters, some characters who would go on to do the be a pivotal role in the in the 4, 5, and 6 trilogy, and the 4, 5, and 6 episodes, especially one Palpatine, um, which was good, which was a good introduction. Um, so yeah, like I said, Anakin, being the age that he was compared to Padme, just didn't seem right. Should have been the same. He should have been the same age. Just saying. But we shall see. But, it is what it is. Nice introduction to Mace Windu. Um, only one person that could play that, of course, was Samuel L. Jackson, my favorite actor. And seeing the Jedi Council and everything like that, it was really good. So yeah, number 5 spot. Number 4, um, number 4 spot. This one I'm going to have to, I'm going to get some heat for. I'm going to get some real good heat for, probably, and that's Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi, yes, sir. Um, to me, this was shorter of the movies of the the original trilogy. Um, 4, 5, and 6. Um, I'm not saying this was bad. I'm not saying this was bad, but there were some scenes where it just it just made me ask a lot of questions, especially um Ewoks. and, and yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. It was cool to see the Ewoks. I mean, had to sell toys, so they had to cater to children. So there you go. Um, Basically, that's how Jar Jar Binks, got there, because is for the kids. There's always somebody. There's always somebody for the kids. In in episodes 4, 5, and 6, we had the introduction of Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. Then the prequel trilogy, you know you had the Jar Jar Binks. I mean, let's face it, he may have been, a lot of people may have hated him, but guess what? Guess what? Sold a lot of toys, for the kids, and they did it again with BB-8 in the sequel trilogy, 7, 8, and 9. BB-8. So there you go. But anyways, going back to um, Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. It was okay. It was okay. At best. Um, still pretty good. Still pretty decent move on the list and everything. So yeah, it was pretty good. But nonetheless, it did tell some interesting points and everything like that, and was really good, especially near the end, which everybody knows. And Vader, turning babyface on Palpatine and everything like that, and so it was a good send off. And so yeah, um, and of course Princess Leia in that outfit. was like you never would have expected that in a Star Wars movie. And the Rancor was actually pretty menacing. Being a young boy, and watching that, I was like, oh my god, so it was still pretty good. Um, the remaster, we get the digital remaster, we um get to see a musical number, which, okay, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. That's why it's number 4 on the list. Um, but I can understand why they did it. So, um, and George Lucas explained why. Um, so I can understand that, why he did it, but it was still, didn't didn't really, you know take away from anything in the movie, and they cleaned it up nicely as technology evolved. And I gotta tell you, it made it pretty good. I wanted to put walkie talkies, but a lot of people said that it would kill the franchise. That's right, my George Lucas impression, and I love it. Yeah. Um. So yeah, number 4. Number 3. Number 3. Um. Blue Harvest. The New Hope. The New Hope. Um. It's the one that started it all. Um. Has some pretty good stuff and everything like that. You know. I mean, it's a nice place to put them. To be honest with you, to put that movie. It's not bad. It's not good. It's right there, and it was, to me. I liked it for what it was, and the time period and everything. It was equally good. So yeah, number 3 on the list. And now we come up with the final two, and where we're going to put Empire and Return of the Sith. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Well, these are the two favorite uh favorites of mine in this movie, of these movies, for many reasons. Both told a good story. Both were dramatic where they were, and I actually found myself being more emotional when I saw, you know, in Return of the Sith. Um, However, how Padme died should not have should not have been it should not have happened that way. It just, you know, that was the only disappointment I thought about that. And however, the rest of the movie was okay. Was good. Um, Especially when we hear about the dark side of the Force, and Senator Palpatine tells us about this, um, about that, because we find out that he's the Sith, that he's Darth Sidious, and yeah, this was a really big deal. But yeah, the opera scene was memorable. Um, Disappointing factor was Darth Vader saying no. It just felt corny. Should have been a groan, you know. That would have been better. Just saying. Instead of no. Would have it should have been but tomatoes, tomatoes. It is what it is. Um the fight scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan was awesome. Favorite scene, favorite part of the whole movie. Favorite part of the whole entire movie. Um because fun fact about that fight scene. Um Ewan McGregor, who played Obi-Wan, he is his hobby is fencing. And he actually taught Hayden Christensen how to fence and everything. So um, he actually trained. Um, they were trained to do this role, and that's why you saw the best lightsaber battle in the franchise. It was awesome. It was an awesome scene. Um, but yeah, it was really really good. And but like I said, Darth Vader saying no instead of you know, "Rawr," you know, that would have been better. Just saying. And and the drama right there, and of course Order 66, which was like, whoa, they went there. So yeah, a lot of dark imagery in this movie, and I think okay. I'm super off. Moose goes and I'm super off topic because I'm touch and go here. But like, are you familiar with so far non-canon Darth Bane? I've heard that name before, but I'm not familiar with Darth Bane. If my memory, I think, you can fact check me if I'm wrong about what I'm about to guess. Is this have to do with the Knights of the Old Republic video games? Um, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but please fact check me if I am wrong. I welcome it because I I'm not really familiar with Darth Bane, so I'm just taking a wild guess that maybe that Darth Bane has something to do with the Knights of the Old Republic video game, because I think that's something that name has popped up. So yeah, and and you are not off topic because it's Star Wars related, and it's a Star Wars episode. So yeah, um, Darth Bane creates the rule of two: one to possess the power, and one to crave it. Great. Now, okay, so Darth Bane is a novel character. Okay. Um, I never really read any of the novels. I never really read any of the novels. So, um, the only one I have read was Shadows of the Empire, which is actually one of my favorites. Um, it's a good read, and Black Sun is awesome, and I still want to see that movie be made. Um, but instead we got the N64 video game, and that's close enough. Um, Time to change that. Exactly, exactly. It is time to change that. And we need to get, it needs, um, Shadows of the Empire needs to be on the big screen. I don't care if it, like, even if they don't have any actors to do it live action, it's okay. I don't mind. Throw it in there as a CGI movie. I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that. Just don't make it look like like from Clone Wars. Just make them look like you know something that you would see in the on the you know regular CGI. The one where it makes you look like it's not CGI, but it's you know I'm falling off topic too. But anywho, but yeah, Shadows of the Empire still needs to happen. I'm saying that. I'm saying that right now. So, I mean, there's always going to be Star Wars films. Only question is what's next. Even if they do like a series, even if they did a series of that, I would be happy with. If they want to make us, if they don't want to go the movie route and just do the John Favreau, um, Disney Plus original, I would be okay with that as well too. Um, I mean, hell, look what they did with the Mandalorian, and yeah, Shadows of Empire needs to happen. Just saying. Um, yeah, nonetheless. So yeah, Return of the Sith. Um, good movie. Um, Emotional. Had some emotional moments at times. But still has some crappy moments in there as well and everything. And with Darth Vader saying no, was a little bit too much. And of course, how Padme died, which just seems like a lazy way of going out, and like she just lost the will to live. I mean, really? I mean, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with depression because I have it, and if I ever die from losing the will to live, I mean, it's like I don't want to go out that way. I really don't. But nonetheless, it was still a good movie. There was a lot, like I said, some emotional moments and everything, and it was still still really good. Not to mention, Jar Jar Binks never spoke a word in that movie. So yeah. So yeah, yeah. At least that right there was something interesting. Just saying. Yeah. We shall see. Which means number one is Empire Strikes Back, released on March 4th in 1981. May the fourth be with you. And very good movie. Very good. Very dark in some scenes, especially when especially when we get to find out um who Darth Vader is. And so yeah, it was a one of those moments where you were shocked to find out who Darth Vader really was. And yeah, so it hit a lot of good points there. The glow is gone. The glow is gone. But nonetheless, it was still one of my favorites, and it still holds up to be a classic and awesome movie. Awesome movie. And so yeah, absolutely, Moose. Empire Strikes Back is a banger. The villains are actually strong and imposing. Yes, absolutely. And it would have been nice to see more of the bounty hunters, except for aside from Boba Fett. I would like to see. It would be interesting to see what um that Dengar has to. I want to hear his story. I think that's his name. I know it's not Dash Rendar because that's still Shadows of the Empire, but I'm talking about um there is one that's called Dengar. I don't know. But you get to see one. The droid one, the droid bounty hunter who was in Mandalorian. Uh, please read the bait. Absolutely. When if I happen to find them, I will definitely pick those up. Well, from what you're describing, it sounds like a good read, and absolutely, and I'll definitely pick those up. So, um, yes, sir. So yeah, that is my 10 list of my ranking of the Star Wars films. And now one more thing we got to do before we leave, and I know I'm going overtime on this one because I'm getting a little bit tired, and yeah, it's getting a little bit late over here. It's getting turning into 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, yeah, that means I'm getting sleepy, folks. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of words and phrases. You know, some a lot of references to Star Wars that we use from time to, that we do use from time to time. And one of the things that um I was wondering is I wonder if we can use them other than just referencing um overtime pro tips. Star Wars scene 38 reimagined is gold. Alrighty, I will check that out. Um um so we reference a lot of quotes in Star Wars. I'm always referencing Yoda as you know staying in tradition of the Star Wars Day. I always talk in Yoda's mannerisms. As a matter of fact, I posted it on social media about the blue milk. Buy it, I did. Try it, I must. Or try it, I will. Review it, I must. Yeah. And I did. There was no try. Good the blue milk is. Continuing with the show, I have to do. Tired I am. Moving on, we must. So, with all the references that I mentioned and everything, yeah, I wonder if there's any other way that we can use them. Like for example, like you know, when it comes to lovemaking, and having being in a relationship with that with your significant other or what have you. So I got to thinking, how how dirty can I turn some of these references? And I came up with 5 of them. Why only 5? Because this is the way. So yeah, this is the top 5 dirty top 5 Star Wars quotes that Tom Dog turned dirty. Number 5. We're not permitted to go in there. It's restricted. Number 4. You want this, don't you? Number 3. I got a bad feeling about this. I mean, number 2. Do or do not. There is no try. That could have been number 5, but I made up some others. And the number one Star Wars movie quote that could be interpreted as a dirty reference. You came in that thing? You're braver than I thought. And that was your top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Tom Dog turning Star Wars into Star Wars Live. Doing the top 5. I have spoken. With that being said, I'm looking at the time in here and we're over 100 minutes into this show, and yeah, I'm getting tired. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all for the comments from Moose and Tanya. Good to hear from them. And yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. If you missed any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below What comic books did you pick up on Free Comic Book Day, as well as your favorite Star Wars moment? Your favorite Star Wars moment. Keep it classy. Keep it interesting in the comment section. I'd love to hear from all of you, so you don't have to hear from me all the time. Ringy dingy that bell to stay notified on what I'm going to be doing next, and support your small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing that you could do for us small streamers like myself, and that is this one major thing, and we will love you forever. We will love you. We will love you more than I love this blue milk, and that is face hug that subscribe button. We will see you back here on Thursday, same Tom Dog time, same Tom Dog channel X. Tomorrow night we're going to be here doing an episode of Wrestling Prime. Move things around a little bit, so we're doing a special Sunday episode. Going to be doing my review of Backlash that happened earlier today. I got all the notes and everything, and just had to move this show on Sunday, so I'll have to do it then. So I got some. I'm going to review Backlash, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of AEW news, as well as the complete list, the finishing up the list of the WWE draft and who's going where. And so yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and we're going to love this. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. So we will see you here next week. next next this coming Thursday with another episode of Channel X, and next Saturday we're back to our regular scheduled Wrestling Prime episode. Yeah, have a lot of fun with that. Till next time, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace, and may the 4th be with you.